first off, congrats on absolutely crushing it. Watching you grow from a movement standpoint, a form standpoint, literally grow. I think you finished like 209 from
Yeah.
the initial weight. So that's 16, 17 pounds. And in a pretty short amount of time, 16 weeks. And so what were some of the initial goals that you had going into this program, and where were you at in terms of being able to tackle those yourself, and what challenges were you running into?
I mean, my goal coming into this was to definitely build muscle, like lean muscle mass. And I think my challenges at the beginning were lack of consistency and like trying to do too many new things and not letting my muscles like really get to a place where they were stabilizing. I guess I just didn't have enough structure, to like my workouts and my routine. Was mixing in cardio as well as lifting and not eating enough calories. So I think getting the nutrition locked in was really helpful for me as well. And I just really enjoyed how easy you made it. It was coming in, it was like scary, like, tracking my every particle going into my body and all of that stuff. Like that seemed really like daunting to me, but you made it, you just made it really simple, really easy. Got to a point where I just like gained so much confidence in being able to do that and like, get my workouts in consistently and see the results in a way that I had never seen before, which was just fantastic.
Yeah. Did you find that the structure created within the program initially seemed scary, and then it actually made things easier to see your progress? Is that what you mean when you were like feeling more motivated?
Yeah, for sure. I think that, I mean, as someone who like had never tracked anything and kind of going for it, didn't know like how to compute his macros or anything like that. Coming in, it was like, oh man, this is going to be a lot, but it ended up being so helpful to have that structure to keep track of everything, for sure.
Yeah, totally. And now that you've tracked for a little while, what are some of the big takeaways you have, either from a training standpoint, nutrition, recovery? What are some of the things where you're like, oh yeah, that was like a golden nugget that I make sure I keep front of mind whenever I'm pursuing any kind of goal?
I think starting out, you had put the emphasis on like breathing and how important that is, just to like stabilizing yourself throughout all of your movements. And so that was like something that has stuck with me throughout. What are some of the big nuggets? I don't know. Like, I feel like I learned so much from you, just talking to you every week on like the form, and like keeping track of macros. And I think one of the things that I was happy and surprised and proud of is that I got to a point where I didn't feel like I had to track everything like so closely, right? Like I got into a rhythm, I got into a routine of what I was eating and knowing that I was hitting those, and like and seeing my body react to it. Like I knew when my body would be hungry, or I felt like I was in a deficit, right? And so like I think those were just like big kind of ahas for me that I just ignored before, that I kind of just like thought like, oh, I'll just eat later, or I didn't prioritize those things. So those were all things that I felt like I just becoming more in tune with my body, I guess, is like the overall theme.
Totally. I think intuitive eating is definitely a place everyone can get to, but it's the process of being able to correlate, oh, when I eat this, I feel this way. When I eat this, I perform this way. And that intuition really becomes just your pattern recognition, because you repeated that pattern so many times. And then it becomes unconscious competence, which is right exactly where you are. With the training piece, what would you say was your favorite exercise or the favorite part of training? And then I'll ask you on the flip side, what was your least favorite exercise? Because I get the same answer from like 90% of people. So I'm just curious.
Oh, interesting. I'll say my least favorite exercises are pull-ups. Is that consistent with what you get from everyone else?
No. So Bulgarian split squats is the one that people are.
I actually like
love
those. I
like
Bulgarian split squats. What I was going to say is like, what I like is working out my lower. What I've actually flipped, like it has flipped. So I used to really like working out like my chest. and my arms before our program. And now I like really like working out my legs and my lower half. And like my butt has become my favorite feature of my body over the last 16 weeks, I will say.
Nice.
And like, I mean that in like not a weird way. Yeah, so I think like I like Bulgarian split squats, but I think that I could be better at them still. Like I still don't feel like I'm super stable when I'm doing them necessarily. But no, I like them. They're challenging.
Yeah, totally.
Just the pull-ups. Actually, no, I don't know. Maybe it's not the pull-ups.
Whatever felt heavy that week maybe is the harder one.
No, you know what? Like I went from being able to only do like a couple of pull-ups, and now I can do like 8-9 pull-ups in a single rep, or you know what I mean, in a single set. Maybe it's the chin-ups. Like I feel like I still can't get like full, like a lot of chin-ups in when I'm doing the like AMRAP.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those variations, but yeah, I just never feel confident when I'm doing them because I'm like, oh man, I only got 2 out. What the hell?
Yeah. Well, AMRAP anything after a long enough period of time is tough, but that's also where you get to, failure and getting to a point to where the muscles are like, yeah, we need to grow, we need to get bigger. Which, again, if we look at your photos from a back standpoint, you went from, kind of a V to just like big lat daddy.
Yeah, and those, I think the pull-ups definitely help that. So definitely like the pull-ups. If I were to say like another one, is those damn suitcase lunges.
Oh yeah.
Just the way you stack them with like all of the other leg workouts, I was always like, I gotta get through this. Like, and on the wall sits, you always had them stacked to the wall sits for like a period of the workouts, and that like it really pushed myself. I really pushed myself though. That's what I liked. That's what I liked about them. But it was like a love-hate relationship. How about that?
Yeah, totally. So with everything you've done, what's kind of like the next big goal that you have, or the next focus? I know we've talked previously. You're going to continue to build a little bit, but what's, with everything that you've learned, the next season for you?
Yeah, I think for me, like physique wise, I'm going to keep building a bit, but I do want to try out a cut and just see how I can see more like of the aesthetic changes as I lead up to my wedding.
Yeah.
So that's really the big goal for me.
Yeah, totally. And you're going to crush that because you crush the build, you'll crush the cut, you crush the wedding, you crush marriage. I got all the confidence in the world for you because you just
crushed my interviews, crushed getting a new job. It all happened with you.
Yeah, it's the summer of crushing. So congrats again to you, man. Super happy for you. And you're the dream kind of person to work with. Someone that just says, yes, sir, ask questions when you don't totally know, and you just put in the work, which is all you can ask for.
Thanks, Paul. I really appreciated this. This has been the first like training or like even just any kind of like athletic program that I've done with somebody. You've made it welcoming and warm and easy. And I've really enjoyed my experience.
Cool. Glad to hear it, man.
Even virtually too, like you've learned how to do it. And that's just awesome. All of the tools and integration you have, I think, is pretty slick.